Where do you get this?
Stupid. Just take it as it is.
Sorry. That's all I can think about. When you tell me these things, like this is
You have a
a
picture.
visual. I have a visual of it. I'm a very visual person. So
You're a very vicious person. That's what you are.
okay, so I have a story. The other day while we were, working, doing photos for a client and doing a video and everything, and I noticed something that made me feel like the things that are done here, I can never do in the US. Like the way that we approach work-wise in a sense, because I think that things that Spaniards do would get me fired in the US. And I know you're not going to agree with this, but I think Spaniards are confrontational.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, there are things wrong with it. But it's not in the sense that you're looking for a fight, but you're in a sense very confrontational. Like things you do are very confrontational. And like one of them is just like how direct you are. Like I can't be that direct in the US, let's say with like a coworker or my boss or anything.
Okay, I have to say something. I agree with you that you cannot be this way in the US. But what I don't agree with is that there is something wrong with it. And I explain myself. All these years that I lived in the US and worked there, I had a lot of issues because of the way that I communicate when I was in disagreement with things. And it's not that I was yelling or I was making a scene or anything like that, but I said things as they are because we are direct. So if I was talking to my boss and my boss wanted me to, I don't know, do something that didn't make sense, I would literally say, I was going to say her name. I'm going to keep her name out of my videos.
It was rage in there. It was rage.
I would say, person, that doesn't make any sense. And she will get upset at me. And then she will make remarks, which wasn't good, but it was like her, the way that you
Passive
guys,
aggressive?
yes. Like she was like, when you speak Spanish, you're very direct, and maybe we have to take some courses. And by we, she meant me. Maybe we have to take some courses on how to utilize political savvy.
Because we sugarcoat things and we beat around the bush a lot of times when we say stuff. That's just the political correct way to go about it most times, because
it is exhausting.
Here's a different thing. It's a different dynamic here in Spain. It's a way different dynamic. You guys don't have that fear of getting punched in the face. You don't have that.
I mean,
because
at work, nobody's gonna punch you in the face.
Well, you punch out.
We're not gonna tell this story publicly.
But that's my thing. Like, you're not worried about getting punched in the face. No matter where you are in the U.S., you could get punched in the face.
Yeah.
You can get your behind whooped by being so direct and saying things as is. Like, that is, for us, that's kind of very confrontational in the sense like, oh, okay, so that's how you feel. Now, you could be speaking with an adult, and if they can handle an adult conversation, no, you have nothing to worry about, which is kind of the case here in Spain where you guys can say stuff to each other directly. Granted, y'all have some reckless mouths, though. Y'all do have some reckless mouth. Y'all say some real reckless stuff that I have to kind of like, what the hell's going on? And when I first came here, like, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know if I was going to have to punch Mario in the face before. Like, I thought I was going to have to knock Mario out.
Why are you going to punch my best friend's husband?
Because I wasn't used to how you guys speak. You didn't like that direct. I'm questioning, like, what the hell you just say? And there's no, like, again, no sugarcoating it. No, like, and I'm looking, I'm like, am I going to have to check him? I don't know. Because already look how I responded to when you said what you said to him. And I didn't understand the dynamic. I didn't understand the humor. Like, for us, for Americans, like, we are very, like, if you come off direct, then that means the gloves are off. That's kind of the thing. Like, all right, we're about to throw down.
So you started the video talking about the client that we had the other day. And I know that we were talking with the client about some shot that she wanted with her dog. And so she was being very expressive, and she was like, because the sun, blah, blah, blah. And you were in the distance because you were taking a video. And that's when you came and you were like, is everything okay?
Is she okay? Is she not happy with this? All you see is all this. Like, you would think there was a whole orchestra behind her and she was commanding an army or something.
And
like
of course I was answering her. I was like, no, because if we do that, then I'd rather have you like that way. And then he's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, no, I'm not. I wasn't doing that. I was just like saying like, pa allá. We have talked about this so many times about there are words in English that have a very negative connotation that they don't have so much in Spanish. So the word confrontational, for example, if you look at the official, we call it RAE here in Spain, it means that you put face to face. That's not a bad thing. Like when you face something face to face, is that you're just, dealing with it, not around it, not looking for bad intentions or anything. You're just like being honest, being right there, dealing with it. Or comparing it. Like I'm comparing my point of view with your point of view. That's what it means to be confrontational in Spanish. But for you guys, being confrontational means that you're violent. Am I wrong?
It's not necessarily that you're violent. It's just like you're looking for problems. Like
But
you're
that's
looking,
not totally the opposite. You're looking to solve the problem because I'm putting this to, I'm confronting the Superman cup with the Mao beer to see who wins. And obviously the Mao wins.
When we say someone's confrontational, it means like they're going to, they in a sense, we'll use that to say that they're difficult to work with. Well, that's how we'll kind of use that kind of notion of it. So they would be someone that you don't want to say something to because they're going to challenge everything. They're going to get in your face. You don't want to say nothing to bother them because then they're going to bother you about it.
Yeah.
So you don't want to kind of deal with a person like that. You rather just sugarcoat it and not necessarily have to confront the situation.
Yeah. You do have a saying in English that says, you do the dirty laundry at home or something like that.
To air your dirty laundry.
To air your dirty laundry. And that means that all these kind of like difficult conversations happen with the closed door.
Yeah, it happens behind closed doors. So you're not, because when you air your dirty laundry, that means everybody's smelling all your business.
Yeah,
basically.
but sometimes there is no time to go to a closed door place. Because maybe something happens right in the moment. Like let's say that we're in a restaurant and we're talking about something that we are highly disagreeing with each other. What, are we going to wait to go back home to have that conversation?
Yeah.
No.
We are not going to have the conversation out in public like that.
But if it's something that you're having a conversation, what, one is supposed to like quiet down and don't say anything?
We have this term of like saying causing a scene. Do y'all guys have that term here? Like causing a scene? Like if you, like when you see a couple get into an argument out in the streets, that's causing a scene.
Well, yeah, but it's not like you're looking for it. It's just that sometimes it happens.
You
have a saying in English that says to nip the thing.
Nip it in the bud.
You have to do that sometimes. You have to nip it in the bud.
Yes.
And sometimes nipping it in the bud is outside.
There's a way to nip it in the bud. And you can nip it in the bud outside. Like, listen, this is not the right way to go about this. No, you're wrong. And you can still have that conversation without escalating your voice.
You know something that I don't like about you? Whenever you get upset for something, then you're like, we'll talk later. Like I'm your child or something. No, tell me right now. What's going on? What's bothering you? Tell me now. We'll talk later.
We'll talk later. Like, no, I don't want to talk about it right now.
Do you know the psychological damage
That's
that
the point
carries?
of it. That is the evil point of it. I want you to sit there and stew in your head. That's all I want you to do.
Until I drink another beer, because then I'm like, what did he say?
No, but when we say we'll talk later, like the whole thing is we'll talk later because if we're having a good time right now and something happens, no, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to continue having a good time. We can talk about it later. It's not like it's going to be an argument or something crazy. It's not the place to talk about it. Why have this conversation here when we're out over here when we're playing katana?
Because you have your friends and some of them can back you up.
Oh, that's the whole point?
Claro.
Oh. See, you guys don't have a problem with, having this conversation outside in the open or behind closed doors. We tend to prefer to have it behind closed doors because we don't need everybody in our business. But anyway, your normal conversation decibel is world. So everyone has to hear what you're talking about anyway.
So my question is, when you're trying to go around the bushes and you're not direct, is this a problem because you don't have the balls, no tienes los cojones, to face something or the person? Because everybody told me in the US that, with my face, people fear me or whatever. So is it because you don't have the cojones to face the conversation, or because you intentionally, maliciously try to pull things from people? Because I have to tell you that the working atmosphere is really damaging in the US because your bosses talk to you in a way that psychologically they damage your self-worth or your self-esteem in a way, or at least that's what I experienced, and I know what they did to other of my peers. So do you think it's because it's a lack of cojones, or is it because it's an intentional, maliciously act?
So here's the thing. Again, I say, like I said earlier, punched in the face. So there's both levels to it. I won't say it's the I won't say it's the cojones thing, but in some cases it is a lot of that. However, there is the level of the political correct. In the US, you can get sued for anything. So the things that you say to somebody and how you say it can be taken in so many different ways. It's all in our news media and everything. So you do have to kind of watch what you say. But if you want to hurt somebody's feelings, especially if you're someone that has the authority and can be in that position of power, yeah, I'm going to say stuff that I can say to kind of like, finger in the moon again. But I have to do it in a way that doesn't get me in trouble, does what it needs to do, and also protects me in a sense.
I don't like that.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how we are. Is that whole, like again, I said, politically correct. We are going to do those things. And also the other aspect is we don't want to have weird conversations because we're afraid of how the relationship would be afterwards.
Wouldn't it be better?
No, it will not be
If
better.
you're clear,
We
especially
avoid
with
those.
friends. Yeah, but
We avoid them.
if you're a friend with somebody and you're telling them something that is to benefit them, even though the way the channel of the conversation might not be the pink and roses, but if it is to improve something about the other person, then it should strengthen the relationship.
But it doesn't.
And even in a work environment.
But it depends because I think there's a lot of egos that can be involved. You know what? I'm gonna give a personal story here. My friend, one of my best friends growing up as a child and everything. We grew up together, right? Now he lives a very, I don't know if the word would be cavalier lifestyle or whatnot, but he still hasn't gotten his stuff together yet, right? And
He's very irresponsible.
irresponsible.
Okay.
So he jumps from woman to woman. He's in this place, lives in this place, lives in that place, or whatever. And he might call me, hit me up like, "Hey, do you got $20 I can borrow? Do you got $10 I can borrow?"
Oh, I know this friend.
Or whatever. So the thing is that like I would give him the $20. Even if it was my last $20, I would give it to him because I always look at it like I have enough resources that if I need money, I can be okay. And if it's my last, I can make do. I will figure something out. But he's older than me and he's still kind of living that childish lifestyle. So before we left, I sat him down and had a conversation.
Yeah.
And I kind of railed into him because I'm like, listen, there are times I gave you my last 20, there's times I gave you this.
Oh, I remember this. He disappeared for like...
Exactly. I laid him out on this and I told him the whole thing. I'm like, listen, man, I'm cool with that, but I'm cool because I'm on top. Today I'm on top. I am not always going to be on top. My things are not always going to be well together. I'm going to have my issues. I'm going to have my problems. So you need to get your stuff together because when I get into that situation, I'm going to need you to be on top to help me out.
Yeah.
Like, I can't always be this way.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't like the way the conversation went. And I didn't hear from him for like a year or two.
Yeah.
And
the first
of course,
year or so that we were outside, we didn't hear anything from him.
and the
then
thing
COVID
is,
happened.
and then, well, right before COVID happened,
Yeah.
he called me because he was in a very bad situation. So bad that situation was so bad. That's what made him call me to reach out for help again. And he avoided me because he didn't want to hear me talk about it.
That's crazy. No, for us, it's completely the opposite. When you have these heart-to-heart conversations with your friends, that relationship just becomes stronger. When you put people in their place, not put people in their place, but when you make things clear, even the working relationship is better because now we're establishing limits. Now we're establishing, hey, yes, and
I think
that's why being direct and being straightforward and like expressing yourself in the moment is not a bad thing. So confrontational shouldn't be a negative thing. It should be a good thing because it develops a stronger bond.
I think I want to believe in that philosophy. And I think there's many key things to that philosophy that works because being forward and straight, people know exactly what you're thinking. And I know we watch anime and stuff and the whole thing with motto is that you never know the person's heart.
Yeah.
You never know what it is. But being that you can be so straightforward and stuff and talk about these things, then there's no sense of like, oh, do they have an ulterior motive? Do they have a thing lurking in back? Is this really how they feel or are they just telling me this just to say it?
Well, that's the thing that I find very exhausting in the US, that you never know if the person means what they say and they say what they mean. It's very exhausting.
It is tough.
Anywho, I have explained it to me.
Please, go ahead.
Quien siembra vientos.
Quien sienta?
Siembra.
Siembra.
Sembrar is to plant,
Okay.
like to put the crop.
So who plants?
Quien siembra vientos,
Vientos.
winds,
Wings or winds?
winds, like,
Oh,
Japan.
wind.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Quien
Wait,
siembra
how-
vientos, listen.
Go ahead.
Quien siembra vientos,
Okay.
recoge tempestades.
Get tempestades.
Recoger is to pick up.
Pick up, yeah. To take or
Tempestades, tempest,
oh, like
storms,
tornadoes, storms.
tornadoes, yeah.
So those who plant winds receive basically take tornadoes or storms.
Yes. And that means that if you go with bad intentions, if you have like a negative something, you have to be ready to face the consequences.
That means if you go with bad intentions, you have to be ready to face
Yeah,
the
because who's going to sembrar vientos?
Oh, first of all, how do you plant winds?
Oh, our cats are going crazy. They are sembrando vientos.
How do you plant winds? What am I going to dig open a door and go, and that close it?
You're stupid.
I'm telling you right now. Where do you get this?
Stupid. Just take it as it is.
Sorry. That's all I can think about. When you tell me these things, like this is
You have a picture.
visual. I have a visual of it. I'm a very visual person. So
You're a very vicious person. That's what you are.
so I see someone opening the dirt. Wait till this grows.
Anyway, if you go into a conversation
No.
with your clear conscience that you're meaning good, the outcome has to be good. If you go with a bad intention, get ready because you will face the consequences at some point.
I guess that's the equivalent. I'm hoping the equivalent would be like you reap what you sow.
Yeah, basically.
So something like that.
Yeah. But that one lives into if you do something good, then you pick something good. This one is like
All bad.
it's all bad.